Hey travel fam, welcome back to our channel. I'm Tina and this is my amazing husband,
Russell. And
we just left the Drury Inn Suites where we stayed over here in Baton Rouge. We're leaving, heading back home, back to Texas. But before we get there, we're gonna stop in St. Francisville to see two plantation homes, which are...
thought we were going to see the Capitol.
Oh, sorry. Before we leave Baton Rouge, we're going to go see the Capitol, which is the largest Capitol in America, or the tallest Capitol in America. So we're going to go and look at a couple of historical sites here in Baton Rouge before we head out to St. Francisville on our way back home to Texas. So stay tuned. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Wow, that's so gorgeous. Wow. We gotta keep up with this thing. That was it. Oh, Spanish Town. Wow. Spanish Town for required. Man, this is beautiful. Look at these homes. It's a gas lantern. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Wow.
Historic Beauregard.
This is simply, Baton Rouge is beautiful. Wow. Oh, look at that. Wow. Spanish Town. Baton Rouge Capitol, guys. The largest, or the tallest, Capitol in America. Baton Rouge. Capital of Louisiana. Man, it's beautiful. It's incredible.
They're doing it right in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, they are. Baton Rouge is beautiful. Man. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Yeah, really. Park Trail. That's beautiful.
Dude, you driving on me like you're on a highway or something in the park. Man, that's nice.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. Man, it's beautiful. Wow. Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge. Something beautiful. Oh, Veteran Memorial Park.
I wonder if you got any gator.
So we're entering, oh, this is Rosedown Plantation that we are entering now. Man, this is spectacular. It's this long driveway up to,
Cedar trees.
man, oh, cedar. So they don't have live oaks, they have cedar.
Well, not right here, but there's one out there.
Oh, okay, right there.
Yeah. And it looks
Oh
like there's
man,
more up
he's
here.
old too, because look how
Yeah,
he's,
so they're fixing to switch to live oaks right here.
okay. Man, this is spectacular.
Yeah, there's even live oaks here on the
Okay,
right.
that's coming over
Right
too.
here, yeah.
Okay. Man, and coming over, the branches are coming over. Like literally across the road. Maintenance entrance, visitors parking. Wow. Hey, look at this. Just simply incredible. Incredible. Wow. The house is back there. Man. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Man.
I'm sure like most of it, I guess they'll tell us when we're on the tour, like if it's original stuff.
Well, they said it was like 13 things that were original.
Oh, okay.
When I look at the video. Beautiful property. Okay. So it says Old Bourne.
Yeah.
And look, and there you have the horseshoes again.
Yep, they're upright.
Yeah, for good luck.
These are grinding stone.
Yeah.
Said all the outside stuff is self-guided, so you,
Wow. And this is super old.
yeah.
Man, look how little it
This is
is.
your leaf springs. That's your spring system.
At least they have padding.
Yeah, and a cushion there.
Well,
Louisville, Kentucky.
I guess we can come up this way.
Tree.
Yeah. Man. And look at that. It looks like something was turning underneath there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got your. Oh, it was being something.
Yeah.
Crushing. Tiny house.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but it's beautiful. I want these in our house, in our property. Yeah, I do. I mean, they have a lot of garden area. It is beautiful. Mm-hmm. But look at this oak tree. Yeah, it does. But look at the oak tree. Look at the roots of this oak. It's huge. And the roots come all the way up. They didn't.
Oh yeah, they go.
My goodness. So beautiful. And the bricks. Yeah.
The main part of the museum.
Yeah, that's original. Wow. And there's another one over there. And look at this oak. Isn't it incredible? Okay, they're coming out, so it's like, and look, this is what they walk through. They were out here. Yeah. Wow. It says Dad. Wow. And they would sit out here.
Kissing each other. Smooching. Video, you watch that thing.
And there's a slide.
So this room here is our grand entryway. I'm sure one of the first things that you notice walking in is either the wallpaper or the door. Both are very eye-catching. This wallpaper was installed in squares, 18-inch linen paper squares. This lighting here is some of the best lighting to see the outline of each square. But it was made with a method called woodblock printing. They take these wooden blocks, carve the image onto it, paint it, and stamp it onto the paper. So very time consuming. This piece took over 2,000 hand-carved wooden blocks, 220 plus squares of paper, and 74 colors. So it's quite the masterpiece. Very intricate work. This piece is in the style of a French scenic panorama because it was made in France, and these scenes go all the way around the room to tell a story. So our story follows a knight named Orlando Furioso. He's pictured here in the jousting match. He's our friend on the brown horse. Whoever wins the jousting match gets to marry the princess, who's pictured here. And Orlando and the princess are in love, but the other guy wins. So naturally they have to run away together, which you can see there on that wall. And then back there behind the railing of the stairs, you can see them getting married and living happily ever after.
So evidently it wasn't a jousting match.
No.
Like if he lost, how did he win? You know?
Yeah, very cute story there. I think it really goes along with the romanticism of the home. Now this wallpaper actually isn't original to the home. It's stamped in 1820. So 205 years old this year. Now this wallpaper was a replacement wallpaper. Going through the restoration, Catherine couldn't salvage what was left of the original piece, which would have looked really similar to this. So she sent architects all the way to France. They found this piece hand stamped in the back of her French warehouse in a case, just waiting to be put up on a wall somewhere. So she purchased it and had it installed here. Definitely the right move.
Wow.
And it's incredible. The floor in here is also super eye-catching. This type of floor covering would have been really popular in this time period. But it's called a floor cloth or an oilcloth. Essentially, it's canvas. Here you can see they tack it down, stretch it across, and tack it down again. Once it lays flush with the floor, it's hand painted and covered with linseed oil. The oil makes it almost weatherproof and really easy to clean. Now ours was put down by Catherine in the 60s, but since it was put down and hand painted for us, we've not had any paint touch-ups redone. I've been in some homes where they have the original floor cloth from the 1780s, which is 50 years older than this house. So they really do hold up very well. They're very resilient coverings.
So we should all get one.
We'll go see this later. Yeah, it does. And a lot of you think of
I just wanted to see. Wow, this is incredible.
So look, here's before the paper. It's in 1956.
Wow.
So they have it here too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Stair.
1956.
And this is 1929.
Yeah, so it's even, they changed it once.
Yeah. Wow. Man, this is incredible.
This is where their main meal was served at 2 p.m. Instead of being served at a typical lunch or dinner time, it was served at 2 p.m. because that was the heat of the day and everybody wanted to be inside. So that was the only time that the whole family would eat together as one. Throughout the rest of the day, it'd be set up at a grazing style, so you could just come and eat as you were hungry. We do have the table set up, of course, in a typical dinner style menu where they would have had. A lot of their dishware is original. Some of our pieces have been replaced over time, like some of our bowls and plates, but for the most part, this set is very much intact. Now we also have this crazy contraption here hanging above the ceiling. Some people think this fan was invented for air circulation, but that's actually a myth. Its purpose is to keep flies off the food. It's called a punka, and it originated in India. Some of the first settlers of this land had traveled to India, and they thought this was brilliant. So they brought it back here to the States, and when it was installed in southern homes, they nicknamed it a shoe fly because it shoos the flies away.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to dumb it down for us down here. Throughout a lot of the English-speaking world, it's known as a shoe fly. So really interesting. Their air conditioning would have actually been that window back there. If you look directly beneath the window, it looks almost like little saloon doors that open up. The doors swing open and the window slides up too. It's called a jib door, J-I-B. When the whole thing is open, it creates a doorway-sized hole in the wall, and that allows for a cross breeze to cut through the house and cool you off really nicely in the summertime.
Wow.
Seeing something on that. Glass full.
Oh, it's a little finger bowl to wash your hands off between courses.
Wow.
You know, it would have held water with a bit of a soap in there. Access all the way up to the attic for storage. That's our only way to get all the way up. So when we purchased the home, we found a trunk full of papers in the attic. Over 8,000 that belonged to the family. Personal journals, anything you can imagine, they kept. And so we have a lot of copies on display here. Here on this shelf, we've got a cake recipe and a market list. Anything you can imagine, they kept.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I wonder if this is the original. I'm sure it was the original linen because it's like, I'm thinking that it.
They're reproductions.
Oh,
Yeah, no, they're reproductions.
wow.
We do, one of our rooms does have original carpet, and we have it covered with a carpet
Oh, she
cover
has
and felt.
nothing.
So, all right, we're gonna head into the family parlor next.
Wow, that's fancy. Man. Man, this is so nuts.
Yes, ma'am. There were several homes in the area that had Civil War damage. There's actually Rosedown First Baptist that this family built for the enslaved workers to have a church to go to. And Rosedown First Baptist was burned down in the Civil War. But Sarah, the lady who owned the house that had the 10 children, she kept the house safe from Civil War damage. And we're going to go into her bedroom. It's right at 180 years old. Wow. Still an incredible working home.
Yes. It's fabulous. Wow.
Okay. So she did all the education herself, or did she have help? Like there were there tutors in the house?
It was just Martha. So Martha would have tutored her 2 sons and
No,
Sarah.
just thinking
Wow.
I could not do.
Oh, look at the, I didn't even see the key in the door.
Yeah, it's there.
And right back here to the room with the
Whew.
blue door.
Man. Oh my goodness. This is an exercise. I'm like, that's some exercise. Man.
Because a lot of their clothes are really damaged because they were stored in an armoire. And in an armoire, they can get really moldy.
Okay.
So a lot of them were unsafe.
Oh, really?
Now this
You
room
got rid of
here is Martha and Daniel's bedroom. They're our original owners, so this would have been their main bedroom. Martha nicknamed this room the blue room because of the blue paint, which is a really popular color in this time period. It's called Haint Blue, H-A-I-N-T, like ain't with an H.
Oh.
But it's really, really popular color in the time period. And it was Martha's favorite color, so of course the whole room is absolutely decked out. And the
So that's the reason why. Mm-hmm.
So this room here is our nursery. This is where all of the youngest kids would have stayed. Remember, you would have stayed in here until you were 10. And then after you turned 10, you were kicked out the nursery and sent back to the language.
I am just happy you to be parenting.
Exactly.
My children would have made
But it keeps on going.
Wow. Up to the attic for just a second. Wow. And look at, you can see, man. And there's a little area. Yeah, I did. Wow, this is incredible. Incredible. My goodness.
Youth bedroom where all the oldest kids would have stayed. This is where you stayed when you got back from boarding school. This would be the last room that you lived in before you got married and moved in with your spouse on their property. So this bed in here is the only bed that has the original mosquito rods up around the top. In the summertime, mosquitoes are quite an issue, and I say they're near as bad that they carry you off like birds in Martha's garden or down the oak alleyway. So, because the house, if you think of big houses, I mean, this one is big. It's just about 8,000 square feet. They really did. Then that baby cradle back there is the oldest piece in the house. It was made in the early 1770s, so it's a couple years older than America. That baby cradle was built for Daniel and his siblings, and then of course Sarah and her 2 brothers and all 10 of Sarah's children. So it's the oldest piece of furniture in the house.
Wow.
Now up here is Miss Sarah's armoire, which arguably has the coolest story in my opinion. But this is where Sarah would hide away all of her most expensive items like expensive fabrics, jewelry, extra cash, all squirreled away during the Civil War, hidden in this armoire. So she would change into her nightgown to go to sleep at night. One evening she was changing and she looked out the window and saw soldiers marching down that alleyway. She knew they were going to come inside, take all these items and ransack the house and use it for money. She did not want that to happen. So she continues to change and she gets down into her sweet nothings in her little nightgown. And the soldiers come inside and burst through the door and she shouts, "How dare you come in on a lady while she's changing? Get out, get out!" So she shoos the soldiers outside. And they were so mortified that they left. They did not come back. Now, if you were a man and you were caught looking inappropriately at a lady, which is what that would have been considered, if you were in the army, you were dishonorably discharged. If you were just a random old Joe Schmo, then you were shunned by society. So these soldiers did not want to lose their jobs and their reputation. So luckily they were gentlemen, and luckily Sarah was a quick thinker.
Wow.
So she did that on 5 separate occasions that she kept a record of. To
Wow.
inside. They say, or I like to say, that she kept the house safe from Civil War damage by taking off her clothes.
The doors, I noticed, are really wide. Is that because of their dresses are so...
It's actually for airflow.
Oh,
in the 1830s, big hoop skirts weren't really they weren't in fashion yet.
Okay.
But in the 50s, they did come into fashion.
Okay.
So, of course, these wide doors came in handy.
Yeah.
But their original purpose is for airflow. That's why they're tall and wide.
Right. Okay. All right. I was like,
Wonderful
because they're...
best view on the property. You can see a lot of Martha's gardens. These would have been her pride and joy. From here, you can also see the doctor's office, which is that white building back there.
Yeah.
The doctor would have been hired on to work here after Martha's youngest son, James Daniel, passed from yellow fever.
Okay.
Remember, she would have been an herbalist.
Yes.
So she would have been in charge of his health. And she felt really guilty when he passed away. So she ended up hiring a doctor to work here 7 days a week after that. Now, he had a half day off on Sunday to go to church, and then he was required to come here immediately after. But every other day, he was here from sunup to sundown.
Wow.
Now, he would have taken over the care of the family, as well as all 250 enslaved workers that lived here full time. Their cabins were about the same size as the doctor's office.
Okay.
And remember, Martha and Daniel did things differently. So this is not the way that it was done on this plantation. On any other plantation, though, you could have 20 to 45 people living in a house that size, which of course is awful living conditions. For Martha and Daniel, they did things differently. Remember, slaves are not allowed to get married and have kids, use a gun.
That's what Napoleon did. You know.
Is that what Napoleon did?
Yeah, so it's after dinner. It was really uncommon for ladies and gentlemen to speak to each other after dinner because the gentlemen would want to go into their parlor. They would drink, smoke, and talk about war and politics. And now Rosedale was a pretty progressive property, so it's not that the ladies weren't allowed to talk about those things and do those things that the men did. It was actually considered awful manners for a man to do that in front of a lady. So his looks a bit more grand than Miss Martha's. So this is where all of the business would have been conducted for the plantation. This was Daniel's office, or his study as well. It also would have served as a family library because of these 3 bookcases. But walking in, I can almost bet that you didn't notice. The room is off-center. Right here, this portrait is the dead middle. If you go directly across, then right here should be the middle of the fireplace. But it's about 6 inches to the left. The reason for that is because of these 3 bookcases. When Daniel ordered them, they were all supposed to be exactly the same size. When they came in, much to his dismay, all 3 were wrong. This one here was too tall, this one was too skinny, and then this one was too wide. None of them were correct. These are French walnut bookcases.
Wow.
Of course he was furious, so he contacted the company to have new ones made. They told him it would take double what he paid for them in 3 years. And he said, absolutely not. So he built a room around the bookcases. And in order to make them fit, he moved the fireplace over about 6 inches to give the illusion that they were all the same size. How much money this lady had? Her hobby was restoring old homes. What a hobby to have.
Yes.
So, she purchased the property for the sole sake of restoring it. She never lived here. She just wanted to preserve the history here for future generations to learn about. And we're very grateful that she did.
Yeah.
She's definitely earned her spot on the table. And naturally, her picture should go in the room where the business takes place.
Yeah.
So
True Texan. True Texan.
absolutely, she was a hustler.
Thinking about us, others. Wow.
Now, Mr. Daniel did not like when his business and personal life got mixed up, so he added in the second entrance. And this is called a business door. It would have been really common in a lot of homes in this time period. If you were a business associate, you would enter through the business door, do business in the business room, and then leave through the same door.
Okay.
Now, a business owner didn't want you to come through the front because then you run the risk of getting mixed up with his family. So, and Daniel didn't like that either.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, you guys are not family.
Oh, we gotta go to the business door. This is awesome. Okay, thank you so much. Incredible. You get, yeah, what she didn't choose is the kitchen, so it has to be kitchen either here or over there. Here or over there, because those chimneys. Man, this is so little.
Normally this would be like a smokehouse.
Why would you have the smokehouse all over here? This is wine cellar.
This is dry. Yeah, this is it. The milk,
No, this
milk
is
shed.
herbs.
Milk shed. They
Yeah.
structured with a low roof designed to keep the sun off the outer walls. Where food was cooled, milk, butter, cheese, eggs, and other perishables was stored in the milk shed. The floor was dug out, filled with ice, and hay was placed atop the ice for insulation. Wow. Okay.
This is so incredible. Cool. Oh, babe, I want to go see. Oh, okay. See the whale. And what is that? Oh, that's a bell, probably saying. So that's the back door. Okay. Yeah. Oh, this must be look like they're sugar or something they was building. Look at all these bugs. Cooking or something out here. What is that?
Looks like a pond.
Looks like it's covered with.
Yeah, with fungus. Moss.
Baby, look at this. Oh my goodness. This is breathtaking.
This houses, like there's quarters on both sides. So I
Mm.
wonder if this is where the boys.
Oh,
moved out.
the
Remember
groom,
when
yeah.
They got older.
Yeah, the
Or
Gruden.
if this was like when they got married, the slave got married. This is the house they got, or.
I don't know.
or
Well, I guess we got to go around the other side. That's this is.
Yeah, we saw the milk shed.
Oh, this was her wing when Sarah got married.
So that's the kitchen.
Yeah, that's what I thought because you said it had to have a chimney. Remember, you said that, and those have it has two. So this is Miss Nina's house when Sarah got married.
Yeah, there's a little bird's nest up there. Because they probably had this open a lot.
Mm-hmm. Spinning wheel.
Big old fireplace. Oh, cooking area, not fireplace.
Yeah. Okay, this is where the cast iron stuff came from.
Work.
Yeah, cast
There
iron.
you go. Okay, now look at it. That's totally.
Wow. Oh, so we would have sold. So this is the chicken coop. So this is the chicken coop. Oh. And this is the ladies' privy. Wow.
Ladies pretty. I'm peeking in the ladies' room.
Oh my goodness, seriously. The ladies'
Y'all ain't got it too good.
I can't believe she was still
You got
coming
the little
out
baby
here.
one down there.
Yeah, but she was still coming
Well,
out
it was
here.
fancy. It was three. Three people could use it at once.
Nobody wants other people seeing what I'm doing. My business.
How you doing?
And then a snake could be in there.
Oh my God.
Just saying.
I'm gonna go use the boys' too.
Mm-mm-mm. Yep, this is it. Yep, Oakley Plantation. Oh my goodness, babe. Oh my goodness, babe. Oh my goodness, that's breathtaking. Oh my goodness. Oh, so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Oh, stunning. This is a doozy of a stairway.
Hello.
It's so grand. Hi there.
So, welcome to Oakley House at the Ottoman State Historic Site. My name is Joe,
Okay.
and I'm a volunteer here on Friday afternoons, and I'm going to be your tour guide today.
Excellent.
So we're going to Great Britain lost its holdings in North America. This area became Spanish. So this was Spanish. The bird, he didn't care so much about painting the background botanicals that you see.
Yeah, it's just a bird.
Just
The bird.
But he had a young associate with him, a fellow named Joseph Mason, who was 18 years old and was an accomplished landscape artist. So Ottoman would paint the picture of the bird, and then he would tell Joseph to paint the appropriate
Put
botanicals in the
something back,
background
yeah.
that would be associated with the kind of bird that it was. So while Ottoman was a resident of the foundation by some of his descendants, and it wasn't placed in this room. So he slept here and he worked there, but he didn't work there here.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Wow. Nicholas Schaefer. That's her brother love's name. Look at that. What is that? It's like a light?
It would have been a whale oil lamp,
Wow.
and the
Kinda like a sconce.
concave bowl behind it is a reflector.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't reflect much these days.
Yeah.
That's your
Ah,
spotlight, man.
spotlight. Oh my goodness.
All right, well, just remember, this was originally the front of the house, it still is, and this wall was the actual back of the
Wow.
heat and
Something off of that.
air conditioning. So that little room is just portrayed as
Storage room. Wow.
most people go through about half the house and then they say, you know, I don't see any written in the copies, and it's spread throughout the South. You'll see this
Yeah.
on many dining room tables.
Yes.
If you tour Plantation.
We have, we've seen it.
Mississippi and Louisiana
Yeah.
and other states. And it would have been operated by a slave child standing or sitting in that corner over there and pulling on that blue rope, which causes it to swing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Now you were having, so here on the left is the butler's pantry. And what you're seeing there on the sideboard are the remnants of the sets of dishes owned by the four mistresses of the house over the 140 years the family lived here.
Oh, wow.
And so the oldest material is the pewterware.
Okay.
And that is the mold for the sugar.
Okay, for the sugar. Okay. Wow.
So, well, in 1803, the purchase occurred. So watch your head.
Wow. Oh
And
my.
when you get up the steps, take a left and go into the office.
Okay. Wow.
Watch your head.
Wow. 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 Look at these.
So this room served as an office for James and perhaps for Lucretia. They could have closed these doors and kept their business life separate from their family life. Because there is a door. Because, the U.S. wasn't printing as much.
Wow.
Much
Quarter of
money
my
as
coin.
needed, so.
Wow, that is, I've never heard that before.
So there's your 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1.
Wow.
Right after it. The
Wow.
map is original to the house. It was printed in New Orleans in 1846. And it shows in red the plantations that existed in the state. All these little red polygons are individual plantations. And for the most part, you can see they're parallel to highways, which were the rivers. So there they are along, here's New Orleans, here's Baton Rouge. Use a lockable box that liquor would have been kept in. And you could lock it to keep the house slaves from getting in the liquor, or your teenagers.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Not that they would do that.
No, of course.
Wow.
So this was the showplace room for the family. The governors of Louisiana and Mississippi were both entertained in this room.
Oh wow.
But if you were expecting to see a room like in Karen, Gone with the Wind, with crystal chandeliers,
Yeah.
crystal geraniums, well, you saw that at Rosedale. That came later. This predates that. A lot of ladies' time at this point, and young ladies
Oh,
would
yeah.
learn to sew by
And
making
crochet.
samplers, of which you can see a couple of examples on the way back here.
Okay.
So we saw a portrait of Eliza in here at 16. Painted, the original was painted by Audubon while he was a resident of the house. Here she is a little later in life, at about 30, we think. She actually has a fairly tragic life. In 1823, when she's 18 years old, she falls in love with the son of another planter family here in the parish. Robert Hilliard Barrow was the young man's name. He was born in 1863 in New Orleans during the Civil War. The family's there for a brief period of time.
Wow.
That's what I'm trying to sneak you out.
Really? Really?
And then I want them to be quiet.
Wow.
So you probably noticed the slope on this floor.
Yes.
There's a porch at one point.
Okay.
So it slopes away from the back of the house.
Water
Okay.
That was originally the back of the house. You
Oh.
You see,
Yeah.
we've got a window looking from room to room now.
Right.
It used to look outside. And so it slopes to keep the rainwater away from the back of the house.
Oh,
And then there's an
that's
interesting curve in the ceiling, which we'll talk about when we step onto the louvered gallery out front.
Okay.
So that little room is set up as a nursery.
Yeah.
There was only one child in the house, that was Eliza. She's 16. This was her room over here.
Okay.
But those toys and the children's furniture were in the house for the state of private property. So it's all just been placed in one room to
Okay.
What a nursery might have looked
Well,
like. We
yeah.
have more books that belong to Lucretia and Jefferson. So, all right, we're going to step through there into the master bedroom. We have another piece of Federalist furniture here. This wheel, Sheraton McIntyre. It dates between 1800 and 1820. And the design motifs include stacked rings, acanthus leaves, and pineapple. Pineapple is a symbol of hospitality and fertility.
Okay.
And this one is set up for winter time with these drapes,
Yeah.
which reach all the way to the floor. So in the winter, you climb in bed, close the drapes, and since they reach the floor, they would stop drafts. Let's see, your half bath in this corner. And here's the rest of your bathroom. Now just imagine taking a bath in this. This is called a French hat bath. It supposedly looks like a French lady's hat. Just imagine taking a hot bath in this tub. The water has to come from the kitchen, 2 floors down in another building.
Exactly.
Yes. So it would have been quite a production to take a bath.
Might not have been hot time.
Oh, and I like it to be hot.
At this point in time, being wet
Wow.
was considered unhealthy.
Yeah.
There was the belief that if you were wet, you could get a chill, and if you got a chill, you could catch pneumonia.
Yeah.
I know that's not how you get pneumonia, but they didn't, and pneumonia was the kiss of death at this point in time. So you only bathed once a week, and you washed your hair. This was supported by ropes, which went through these holes, which you can still see the holes
Oh,
on the
yeah.
headboard, to ones in the headboard, and then those ropes went back and forth, side to side.
Okay.
And you can see where the plugs, where the holes used to be, they've been plugged on the side. But when you sleep on a mattress that's supported by ropes, the weight of your body causes the ropes to stretch. So after a few days, your bed will be sagging.
Yes.
So it was probably the job for one of the house slaves to periodically come by and to tighten those ropes so you would sleep tight.
Okay.
Now, if you were a guest at Oakley and your bed began to sag and it didn't get tightened and it sagged more and more, it might have been a subtle hint that you've been here long enough, it's time to go home.
Okay, you don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here.
It's set up for summertime with the mosquito netting. We have another bathtub. This one probably held a little more water, but I don't think I could get out of it if I got in it. The long handle object next to the fireplace is a bed warmer. Hot coals would have been placed in the brass receptacle at the end, and the long handle would allow the slaves to move the bed, the warmer through the bed, under the bedclothes to warm the bed.
Oh,
Now
wow.
the armoire is a particularly nice piece.
Yes, it is.
It was a wedding gift from Lucretia to her daughter Eliza, either the second or the third wedding.
Okay.
It was made raise the side and have a baby in there, or lower it as it is.
Oh,
now,
wow.
and bed in it. Nice little piece.
Wow. This is so cool. Are you in your business?
So just about finished.
Oh, no, you're
When
fine.
guests pull into the parking lot and get their first glimpse of the house, we think they're struck by the thought, that doesn't look like a plantation home. And that's because the house is not Greek revival architecture.
Right.
Most people associate plantation homes with Greek revival architecture. This house predates that fad of architecture. This house has West Indies architectural influence,
Okay.
particularly these louvered galleries. Now, the louvers serve two purposes. They're set at an angle, so they keep the sun off the gallery at all times so it stays cool.
Yes.
And since they are set at an angle, they don't move. If there is a breeze, that breeze is foamed up to this curved ceiling. And you get this circular
why.
vortex of air movement. So you lower your windows and open your transoms and you get air movement through the house. So it's like an early air conditioning system. The family would probably bring their beds out here in the summertime with the mosquito netting over them, because it would have been the coolest place to
This is, man, this is
I was
awesome.
looking at the detail on the.
Oh, yeah. I should have asked him about the horseshoe that's over. I know that Mr. Gary told us that, but that would be, I was just curious. But yeah, this is the part that really made me like, wow, this would be so cool to see. Yeah. Let me set the close the gates on our way out. Somebody left their water bottle. Yeah, but I'm gonna close this gate. I mean, it's locked. That one's locked. The gates are locked. Both of those gates are. Hey. Oh, okay. Well, let me do this one. Man, this is beautiful property. Hi there. How are you? Oh, that's a sundown. Is that what it's called? Sundown. To be able to tell what time it is. Oh, I smell. Oh, and there's a bell. Doing well, and yourself?
He's cooking.
Yes, indeed.
Medium well.
Oh, medium well.
If it was only that easy.
Wow.
So this is the original 1806 hearth. We're right now I'm prepping for a cooking demonstration for American Cruise Line when they come in here at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes,
Comes
that's what I
in here around
heard.
3-ish, so. But yeah, the hearth is 1806. It comes actually from out of the big house to here because of the fire hazard and the extreme heat in the summer. Open hearth cooking is actually going to be done away from the actual open flame. You're going to be setting up coals. And then you're going to actually be using these kind of Dutch ovens with recessed lids and what we call kettle pots. And you're going to actually put your coals down, put your pot down, put whatever it is you're cooking, and then put your lid on it, and then put more coals over top of it.
Yeah.
For the cooking demonstration, I'm using this. This is known as a brazier. And what you do is you put your hot coals inside of it, lift up, put your coals in there. Then anything you're going to be cooking, just use whatever utensils you're going to use for that. So.
Wow.
And actually, if you like, right there is one of the scrolls is actually the original recipe for macaroni and cheese. So it's a 200-year-old recipe for by all means, please.
Thank you.
As far as that goes. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is all done with slave labor.
Yeah.
I mean, the slave ladies that were here, we really don't know a whole lot of, except for the last generation. Last generation's cook, her name was Sylvia Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually born, her mother was a slave here, but she was actually born free.
Okay.
But she stayed on this property and cooked all the way until late 1930s. She would cook for the big house, right?
Yes.
Which is right next door, which is what her mom and her grandmother did.
Yes.
Even though the first two ladies were all enslaved ladies.
Right.
The only thing we really know about grandmother is that she was from West Africa and she was what they call an Ibu or Igbo slave.
Okay.
She was sold and then bought out of the port of New Orleans and brought here.
Really?
So when the plantation starts, we're small with only 20 enslaved individuals and about 600 acres, of which about 500 were cultivated for cotton, which was our crop. Right. But in our peak, this plantation was rather large. It was 3,190 acres.
Yeah,
2,000 are cotton. The rest of it is either left forested or turned into vegetable gardens.
Okay.
Because at that point you have about 300 enslaved that you have to feed. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it's going into that. Mm-hmm. So, and they also, believe it or not, they learned really good lessons from the folks on the East Coast. Yeah. The cotton growers in the Carolinas, well, they kept growing cotton every single year on the same plot.
Right.
To kill the soil. So over here, they learned to actually alternate your crop.
Yes.
So one year you might have cotton in this 1,000 acres. Next year you might put soybean there.
Right.
So they actually rotated crops, which I think is fascinating because you're talking 1800s versus 2025.
Yeah.
So they knew all that.
They were very wise, very, just intelligent.
Yeah, very astute for the time.
Yes.
For sure. It's just incredible.
And the things that they built and did last hundreds of years. Like
this hearth is the
goodness.
original. Okay. 1806. Has a fireplace like a regular hearth.
Yes.
Rectangular for cooking.
Yes.
Has a baking oven.
Yes.
So they would start a fire in there. They'd heat everything up. Rake out the ash. Then they would let the radiating temperature do the baking for them. So you started with your highest heat, shortest time.
Okay.
And then you ended the day with the lowest heat, longest time. So you're doing like your pies at the end.
Yes.
And they did a lot of that.
Yes.
But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, I'm here. And we have Davis in the blacksmith shop. He'll be actually firing it up right about now too.
Okay.
Bus will be here at 2, but it won't.
Yeah, so it's 2:04 now,
Yeah,
so we'll
so
get out
the
your
bus
way.
is showing up right now, and but they're going to be in the museum first, and half are going to be in the house.
Okay.
Plenty of time.
Man, this is incredible.
Any
Thank
questions? Come with me. I'm
you.
Daniel. Any questions? By all means, come see me.
All right, thank you so much. That's our oldest son name is Daniel.
Oh,
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Wow. This is, man, this is incredible. A spinning gin, 1818. Eagle Cotton Company, Bridgewater, Mass. Man, this is incredible. I want to go over and see the blacksmith section. So this is the blacksmith shop. Okay, pretty.
The whole wall is brick.
Yeah, I mean, and it's built to last. Like they're still using. Man, this is incredible. Incredible.
Candle making equipment. So you actually have dippers there, and you have molds over there as well. You'll see the crimper for the clothing and the iron as well. So.
Okay. Oh yes.
Yeah, this is kind of a neat complex because the hearth, the design of this hearth is solely for heating a room. See how it's almost shaped like an octagon? It has the three sides? That actually tells us it's only designed not for cooking on, but for heating the room. So we're pretty sure they're using that when they're doing laundry and that type of thing. Keep the room nice and cozy.
Thank you.
My pleasure. I can hear.
Spectacular. Hello. Man, this is so cool. Wow.
Your blower.
Oh.
It normally doesn't smoke like that. It's smoking because I just threw some fresh coal on it and it's burning off the impurities.
Okay.
Black is the impurities that
Yeah.
burn off.
Wow.
This is what it looks like when you first start. When the impurities are burned off, it looks like this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns white and it's very light and fluffy. This is heavy and it burns all that stuff out of there. All that black smoke is extracting all that.
Okay.
And this is what actually burns.
Okay.
You get rid of this and then this burns really nice and hot.
So where did you get the coal from? Where did they get it from? Like
Back in the day,
back in the day? Yes.
it would have come from the coal mines in West Virginia,
Okay.
Southern Ohio, Illinois, Southern Illinois, where it would have been shipped down the Ohio Valley on the barges, and
Mississippi River.
it would have been
Okay.
to the different shipping ports along the Mississippi River, where it's offloaded and brought up here.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I was like, where did they get this from? In the press. Wow. Wow.
It doesn't take much when it's good and hot to form it because the metal is so soft.
Wow.
The hotter you get it, the softer it gets. It can actually get to the point where the iron melts.
Really?
And that's how they actually shipped it. The iron ore was brought down from the Ohio Valley to a foundry that was in New Orleans at
Yes.
the time. And there it was melted down and put into bars, kind of like this right here, but maybe
Yeah.
bigger, or they might have put them into flat pieces like this, which could be used for bigger, wider items. And then it was reloaded back on those barges and on the steamships and brought back up river, where it was offloaded at the different shipping ports.
Wow.
So that's how they did the iron. So
Wow.
the anvil here itself this is actually dated 1808.
Really?
1808 when it was found, when it was forged. This was forged in New Orleans, and it weighs 412 pounds. So,
1808.
1808, and they were still using it.
My
This
goodness.
is a good anvil. You know
Wow.
how to tell the sound of a really, really good anvil from the sound of a lousy anvil?
No, I don't. How do you tell?
Here's how you do it. You do that, boy. By the sound. Can you hear it sound like a bell ring?
Yes, I can. I hear the ringing.
Especially here.
Whoa.
You hear it sound
Yes,
like
I
a bell ring?
do.
Well,
Whoa.
that's because this is a pure iron alloy anvil. Of course, 1808 they didn't have mixed alloys like they do now.
Yeah.
You go to Harbor Freight and you buy one today, you know what you're going to get?
Wow.
The difference?
Huge difference.
So when you're pounding on this, you're getting that ringing sound every time. That's how you can tell a really good anvil from a.
I mean, and even though I always say I'm grateful that I was not born back then, but when you cannot, I mean, they were so intelligent. They were so, like, the stuff that they created and made was built to last, and the creativity, and I mean, it was just incredible.
Yeah, very, very, very.
They were
talented.
so before their time. Like, man, the things that they were able to do with less than what we have. You know what I mean? It's just like amazing.
Very, very, very talented.
Yes. So
They were
intelligent.
I mean, every single item on the plantation, the house, the blacksmith shop, the barn, fences, the slave cabins,
Yes.
the kitchen, the outbuildings, was all built by your enslaved population with a tip on both ends. And then it's cut. Let's see if I find one here. There's another one that's tipped. It'll be cut kind of like this one here. It'll be broken in half.
Okay.
And then once you break it in half, you create a little dimple on the top of it.
Okay.
And after you get your little dimple, then you pound it down and you make your head.
Okay.
And you can make a head. You literally bend that a little bit. Here's a better one that shows.
Okay.
the
Yes.
Right there.
Okay.
Now, once the child learns how to do that, because his first job is to make a needle. Once he does that.
Okay. So the bus is here. Yeah.
They got to be out usually by about 4 minutes after 11. I mean, I'm about 5:04, 4:05.
Okay.
5 after 4, so they have to be gone. So
For
we
the
do
ship.
for the boat, yeah, for
Okay.
the bus tour. But once he learned how to do this by hand, with nothing but a hammer,
Yeah.
and the fire and the anvil,
Yeah.
then he's given the hole punch, and he learns to this will be heated. This will be heated in the fire, and it's dropped in here, and then it's hit with the hammer. And because it's hot, the square will form.
Okay.
It'll form a square.
Okay. To
and-
make it
and
like
make
that.
it like this. Then you'll have the top on it. Then you pound it one more time, and it makes the head on top.
Wow.
This is called literally a hole punch.
Ah,
Now they would
so
have
that's
these.
a whole bunch.
They would have they would have these. There would be 10 of them,
Okay.
and you could make 10 of them in 1 minute. That's starting from these, cutting them, putting them in, pounding them out, and moving on. Of course, your iron has to be hot first, and pick up the kind of things set up. But you could do 10 a minute. And when you do 10 a minute, 60 an hour, you're
Wow.
smoking.
Yeah, you
You're
are.
smoking.
Man, that is incredible. Thank you so much. I know you got your tour coming in, and I don't want to be in your way, but this
Yeah, I'm just
is
sitting up
incredible.
here. I like to twist it all up.
Wow. This is original slave home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a few repairs done to it, but it looks pretty on spot with the other buildings that we
Yeah.
saw at the other plantation.
Yep.
The bed is kind of interesting though. I really like how they see. This is a peg. You slide that out. and
Yeah,
that comes
sure
out.
enough.
Yeah.
Sure
This one's
enough.
missing the peg here, so this has got it. That's missing it.
Yeah. Wow.
And it
This
was
is it.
roped.
Yep. In here, tidy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that had to be uncomfortable.
Man, yes indeed. But I guess it's
Maybe
better
like
than
a
that
hammock?
floor. Better than the floor though.
Like that ain't original, but
Yeah. What this building is. So this is one, and then this is the other one. I wonder what was this structure for?
I don't know.
That foundation.
That one's just very empty, but it's just another building.
No, I'm talking about this.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. And they said that they don't know where the slaves were buried. They never found it. Yeah, they never found it. Yeah, they never found where they were buried, where the slaves were buried. Incredible. Wow. That's basic. Babe, look at this.
Yeah, look at this right here. 70%. It's like 70%. Oh, own the town, and you still slave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, baby. That's what I'm saying. How is that even possible? Field slaves.
For our tour guide to rate him.
My bad.
Since I'm driving. Just left St. Francisville, last plantation. So we saw Rosedown Plantation and we saw Oakley Plantation, and we highly recommend that if you're down in this area, St. Francis, Louisiana, to check them out. They were incredible. Heading back to Texas now, and we will see you then. Wreck 'em. Mighty Mississippi. Muddy water. Yes, indeed. Man, this has been an incredible trip. There's a lot of great. This is a cool bridge. At the end of it. Left lane ends, baby. Welcome to Avonville. Where they made
Avonville.
Avon Lady from here. It's gotta be the Mississippi, right?
I'm surprised they didn't tell you what
river
we're going over. Somebody will tell you.
Look like it. I see big boats, ships. Big one.
Yeah, it is.
Bridge ain't up here.
Yes, indeed. We up there.
those pears, but I don't